I'm very fortunate today to be able to invite a couple of friends here today, all right? And I will actually introduce them very briefly right now, but we will also have a lot of stronger invitation, a more elaborate, I would say introduction. What am I talking about? Yeah, so introduction in a while later, right? First, we actually have Miss Adeline here. We also have Mr. AJ Chin, right? What you see on the screen and you see them in person here. Miss Cheryl Wee. We have Miss Ruth Nang. We have Mr. Ng Tak Yong. These are the speakers who will speak. We also have a couple of our friends here who are just here just to kind of like help out and support, right? Mr. John here. We have Mr. Wilfred here. Mr. Donnie here is actually with Taylor's Learning Technology. So thank you all for being here, and also whoever is on Zoom, right? We thank you for being here. Right now, basically, what are we talking about today? All right, we're talking a little bit about the science and art of business education. Some education degrees are Bachelor of Science. Some actually business degrees are Bachelor of Arts. Many of them are Bachelor of Arts, right? But what you are pursuing, whatever business degree you're pursuing, I'm here to talk a little bit about how it connects to what you are going to do, right? Before that, I'll tell you a little bit about myself. I actually just joined Taylor's not too long ago as a part-time lecturer, just last month, right? And Taylor's called the director, Dr. Low called me and said, hey, Kian, this is probably like the third time he has asked me, Kian, you want to come and teach accounting? And the past two times I've already said no. And it's just, the accounting is just a subject we all love to hate. Why do I want to? But anyway, a long story short, now here I am, all right? In my free time, I also work as a chief operations officer. I run a school. The people in the accounting class, you would know that I talk about this quite a bit, right? At the same time, I'm also a student. I have a student ID that I can go to GSC and get student tickets. True story, I'm not lying. I've done it before. Now, but that's not the reason why I'm a student. I'm also pursuing my doctorate in business education. And what I am actually researching, I will share with you in just a little bit, and what it relates to what it is today. Now, many moons ago, way back in 2007, I got a Master of Science. It is an education master's degree in education from the University of Central Arkansas. And 2 years back, business degree, Bachelor of Business Administration, and specifically in Human Resource Management. That's from Oklahoma State University. I don't know if any of you who are planning to transfer to these two universities or anywhere nearby, it's an all-out cowboy town, I tell you. It's nothing near what you see on TV or what you know of, let's say like the universities in the Northeast, like or Northwest, like the University of Michigan, University of Wisconsin, University of Minnesota, or even in the West, like University of San Francisco State University. It's way, way different, right? So if you're interested to know about these universities, let me know. You know where to look for me. Just look for the bald guy on campus. Now, fast forward, go way back to 2002, right? In 2002, this thing happened. You know who that is? Yeah, that's me, 21 years ago with hair. How many of you here were born after 2002? Can I see a show of hands? Oh my God. Most of you. Okay, yeah, so I guess before many of you were alive, I completed my studies here in Taylor's ADP. Now this campus was not open yet. It was in the old campus. Yeah, so, and if you wonder, that is the then Dean, Dr. Rainier Bowmeister, who was presenting my certificate. And if you have a question that says, is it me who's too short or he is too tall? The answer is yes. He is a really tall man, and I'm not a very tall man. I'm not tall at all. right? So hence the difference, right? So in 2002, I was here just like you. I mean, not literally here. I was in the same program, pursuing my Taylor's ADP. And what happened since, right? That's when you see all of that that has happened since, right? Why is that thing moving so fast? Anyway, now part of my research that I'm doing with my doctorate is that I'm actually doing a research on whether people like you attending college, graduating from university, getting your degrees, are you going to be ready for work? Because many people who are in the position to hire graduates, the people who will hire you for jobs, whatever jobs that you may pursue in the future, many of them, they are always complaining. We call them the bosses, right? The bosses are always complaining that the students are not ready for work. Bosses are always complaining that the students do not have the skills that are necessary to be successful in the workplace. Is that a problem? Now, whose problem is that? That is a question that we will always ask, and nobody is going to claim that's their problem. Lecturers, academicians, right, in universities, they say that the employers are not asking for what they want, right? If you look at job postings, right? In many of the job postings, you go look at Job Street or whatever it is, or whatever openings for jobs, you will see that employers always ask for this degree, that certification, and all those kind of things, this experience and things like that. And of course, they expect you to be 25 years old, but have 30 years of work experience and crazy things like that. But then we academicians are always saying that the employers, they don't know what they're asking for. And hence there's always a disconnect. Employers are always complaining that students like you graduating from university are not ready for the workforce. But academicians, universities are saying that employers, they don't know what they're asking for, right? And I'll tell you, of course, when I stepped into my jobs, all my jobs in the past, of course, I was not ready for that. Nothing will ever prepare me to be ready for it. And that's why I stepped into the job, because I'm there to be able to experience, I'm there to learn, and I'm there to do what I can do, right? And so all this research, all these articles talking about how people are not ready, now it's always kind of like, now this thing is always a struggle, right? And one of my favorite comics, Calvin and Hobbes, you see on the screen, it's also about the students. You see a struggle, a tug of war between the employers and also the professors, right? But then Calvin and Hobbes show us an interesting part where the students, I've heard a football player once say that, you know, at that time it was in the summer. This was in the US. It was in the summer, and they actually had 3 practices per day in the hot, humid sun, and they're basically almost dead when after the 3rd practice. And you know what? Tomorrow they do it again, and the next day they do it again. 3 practices a day. They are basically like just practicing until they cannot even open their eyes anymore after their practice. And so I was kind of joking with him, and it's like, you know, they're really killing you out there, huh? And one thing that he said that I remember, everyone wants to go to heaven, but nobody wants to die to get there. Everyone wants to achieve whatever they want to achieve, but like Calvin here, they don't really want to put in the type of work that they need to do, right? And so I'm gonna specifically poke at one student here. I'm not looking at this student right now, but this student will know exactly what I'm talking about, right? So we actually have an assignment yesterday in my accounting class, and then an assignment, like there's actually like there are answers there, right? But then we were talking about whether we should share the answers then immediately or not, and all those kind of things. But honestly, if you want to share the answers and you just want to copy the answers and just submit it, it's fine. because you choose what you want to benefit from it. But if you are going to work on it, and this is how I would feel that you will be able to learn from it and practice it, then you do it. Okay. So if you ask for now this person, I'm not looking at this person right now. Is one of you in here, right? I don't know who admitted to what. So now, if you are going to ask for it, that's fine. All right. It's really up to you what you want to learn from it. Just like an example of what Calvin has said here. All right. Let me show you just a little bit about what the college degree has prepared me for the workplace. These are all the classes that I took in all my 4 years in my undergraduate degree. Half of it were in Taylor's ADP, half of it were in Oklahoma State University. So it was actually from English composition. In English composition, the lecturer at that time, they put us into a lot of group work, right? And they forced us to work in groups, do group projects that we all absolutely cringe. Every time we have to do a group project, it's like, can we not? You know, people, somebody is not going to pull their weight and all this kind of thing. So it's like, but then these were friends that I made for life, and I'm still in contact with them 21 years later, 21, 22, 23 years later, right? And these are also the people that I value. These are also the people that I've learned that, you know what, that's how we're going to be able to work together. If you look at in music appreciation really taught me to be able to close my ears, literally and figuratively, because it's in some ways like when you're listening to a music score, right? If you want to just listen to the drums, tune out everything else, listen to the drums. If you want to listen to the guitar, tune out everything else, listen to the guitar. In life, you get to do that too. You choose what you want to hear, you choose what you want to pursue, right? That's why I learned music education. Now we talk about business communications. Business communications, the way we talk, the way we communicate with each other, what we do on a day-to-day basis affects us with so much. And the thing is, what I'm going to believe in and what you are going to believe in are totally different things. But it doesn't mean that I'm right and you're wrong, or doesn't mean that you're right and I'm wrong, right? We can always choose to be different, and we always respect each other's differences. In sociology, I learned that in every question, not every question will have an answer. Yesterday in my accounting class, I asked a rather tricky question, and I kept asking. Nobody had an answer to it. Why is that so? Because there is no answer. Not every question is going to have an answer, and that's basically what life is about. Then in human resource management, that was actually my degree, right? Human resource management talks a lot about how different people work differently. And when somebody is strong in something and weaker in something, it doesn't mean that they are actually going to be successful here nor there, right? It's just that people are going to learn differently, right? People are going to work differently, learn differently. In technical writing, I learned about how the way you write. I always joke about, before the days of ChatGPT, there was a Ken Yao, because when I was working in the US, my American bosses, I had 2 American bosses who always asked me to write the emails for them because they cannot write very well. And they asked me, a Malaysian in the US, to write the emails for them because of all the skills that I learned in technical writing and how to write to be able to get the attention of somebody else. Then in compensation administration, I learned it's not really all about money all the time. Different people have different motivations, and I've got to learn about what motivates people to be able to encourage them to do what they want to do or to not do what they want to do, right? That's and then in training and development, in this class, we were actually working on a training program for an aeronautical company. I learned that clients can be a big pain in the butt. And you know what? There's nothing we can do about it. But there are many ways we can manage. We can manage what we do and deliver and still meet the expectations, even though they are such a pain in the behind, right? So these are skills that I learned in all of these specific classes. Now, I'm not going to go through all 120 credits of all the classes I've learned, but because we learned something there, who is going to say that the education, a business education, does not prepare us to be successful in the workplace? Look at all of those skills that I learned in those classes, and those skills that are transferable and they're applicable to what we do on a day-to-day basis. All right. So that obviously, don't believe me, believe this guy. This guy in 2005, his name is Steve Jobs. He's no longer with us here now, but in 2005, Steve Jobs delivered a commencement address to Stanford University. And in his commencement address, he talked a little bit about connecting the dots, right? In connecting the dots, he was talking about how at one point when he was attending university, he dropped out of university. Now you're going to say, whoa, people drop out of university are going to be successful, right? No, that's not the message. Steve Jobs dropped out of university, but at that time, he was able to take certain classes at the university just for fun. Yeah, that's the joy of an American degree program. There are many classes you can take for fun, for elective reasons, for, all to fulfill many different types of minors and majors and things like that. So Steve Jobs took a class called calligraphy. He learned many different types of type font, many different ways to be able to have font in writing. And how was it useful at that time? It was definitely not useful. He was just taking a class for fun. But many years later, when he was in a position to design the first MacBook, right? It was the very first computer that actually had a nice type font because of what he learned many years ago in a class called calligraphy that he took in Stanford University, that he took in, at that time, that he took in university for fun, right? So the class he took for fun, he was actually able to gather skills to be able to come up with the very first computer with a nice type font. Why not, right? So I've just basically proven to you all of these skills we learn in our business degrees are actually valuable, are actually it's really what you make of it, whether you want to benefit from it or not, or waste your time or do whatever that, So basically what I believe is whatever you choose to learn and benefit from is really completely up to you. Kelvin decided he didn't want to work on whatever that he needs to do. That's fine. That's Kelvin, right? And how it is a combination of experiences that will make you who you are and what you become, right? Now, this I believe, this I hope that we are able to get from this long lecture. So I have talked enough. Again, remember, whatever questions that you may have, you are actually able to scan and ask whatever questions that you may have. It is my pleasure at this time to invite the next speaker. Yeah, the next speaker looks so much better than me. Yeah. So this is actually Miss Adeline is actually an actuary by profession, and using her skills as an actuary, right? She is able to advise people on how to make money, right? I'll let her tell you more about it. Please welcome Miss Adeline.
Yeah, so good afternoon, everyone. Adeline here. So just have a brief introduction about myself first. I actually graduated from UCSI University in 2019. So I graduated as a first class Bachelor of Actuarial Science student. And in the same year, I actually joined a life insurance company, become a part of Variation team. And the next year, 2020, I joined Public Mutual as a part-timer unit trust consultant. And in 2022, I actually resigned from the life insurance company and become a full-timer in in Public Mutual. So currently, I'm an agency manager in Public Mutual and leading 15 downlines. Yeah. So since I mentioned about actuarial, so actuaries, what actuary is that? Actually, since I'm entered into life insurance company, so I only mention about what actuarial done in life insurance company. Of course, some of us might join bank, doing investment or also risk management team also. So for life insurance company, basically we actually separate into 3 teams mostly, yeah. So product team, pricing team, and also variation team. So variation team is the team that I joined. So for product team, basically what actually done is we actually are the team who think what new insurance product that our company can offer to public. So for this team, they actually need to survey around the insurance that offering in the market, no matter inside Malaysia or outside Malaysia. So think what insurance that our company can offer to public also. So after that, actually the insurance will actually pass to pricing team. So pricing team is the one who price the insurance, see how much sum assured that we can offer to you guys, how much premium we should charge for you guys. Yeah, so basically we are using our company data like mortality rate, expenses ratio, and also investment performance to price the product, see how much should we price so that the insurance product is profitable to us and also worth to you guys. So after that, for variation team, they are the one who evaluate the insurance product, see whether the insurance product is profitable to our company. Shall we reprice the product or not? So basically, this is what an actuary is doing in life insurance company. And in my previous company, actually reinsurance is included in variation team. Have you guys heard about reinsurance? Anyone? No? Okay. So basically, what is reinsurance? Reinsurance is an insurance company of an insurance company. What means by that? So, for example, customer A buy an insurance from us, okay? And we cover them 2 million for the sum assured. So once claim happen, okay, but actually our company only retain 500,000, which means actually this one will be calculated by risk management team, where actually involved in the team also. They are the team who assess the risk in our company, see how much we can return, how much we can cover you guys, okay? For example, our company only return 500,000. So any claim happen, we still paying 2 million to this policyholder. But then in fact, actually our company only paying 500 to for this policy, for this claim. So the remaining 1.5 million actually we claim back from our reinsurer. It's actually covered by the reinsurer, our insurance company, which we call reinsurer, okay? So what I do during reinsurance for this job, I actually calculate the premium and also the claim that we need to claim back from reinsurer. Like for sure, you guys paying us premium also. So we need to pay premium to our insurance company also. So basically, I'm the one who calculate the premium and claim that we need to claim back from reinsurer and do settlement for monthly, quarterly, or yearly based on the company. Yeah. So, and also sign the agreement, which means any new product come out in our company, we actually need to get some quotation from the company. And then once the company reinsurer, they agree to cover us for this product, then I'm the one who confirm all the agreement that is aligned with our what we discussed and then sign it. So, and I will pass it to our head of department, appointed actuary, and pass it to CEO to sign it. Yeah. So before that, before sign on the agreement, so I'm the one who evaluate whether this quotation is worth for our company. So since a new product come out, so I'm the one who evaluate, count the money from future to now, okay? See whether this which reinsurer offer us a better premium to cover our insurance product. And then I come up with a conclusion and then report to my head of department, and my head of department decided to go for my decision and then report to CEO. Yeah, so I'm the one who evaluate on the quotation that offered by reinsurer also before we sign it. And apart of that, from that, what actuary can do? During that time, actually, there's operation team. They say that there's 50 members in their team. And you know, when policyholder come to them, then they want to update their bank account details, but there are 50 members in the team. So basically what they do is they actually have their own file. They update in their own file first. After some time, they compile all the data together. And this might happen human error. The data might be missing or updated error. And it's actually the data is not updated because they need to compile after some time. So I actually build a template for them. So by clicking one button like update or edit, immediately the bank account detail will actually edit the data in the master file. So once they open their own file also, the data is actually up to date because I will import the data from master file to their file. So they can always check for the up-to-date bank account details for policyholder. Yeah. So of course, I'm building macro to expedite my own work also. There's of course some repeating work. So I actually do some macro by clicking one button. I complete like 2 days. Mostly, maybe I will need to spend my 2 days time to complete the work. But by clicking one button, I can complete it within 15 minutes like that. Yeah. So they will just open the file, copy all those things inside. Because what called macro? Macro is actually a coding in Excel. So we can actually key in, write those coding and then do whatever we want actually. You can learn it from Google also. This is how I learned it actually. So in actual science, we actually learn the basic thing for macro, but after go step into career, you will know how macro can help you and you need to learn further from Google actually. Google really helped me a lot in this, okay? So for now, even like I quit my actual industry, how I apply my job, my knowledge in my job, I actually built a retirement calculator. So by keying the age, the expenses, the salary, I actually can know this person how much retirement amount that they need to have. And then I also do a projection for EPF, their EPF amount also. So means the retirement amount they need to prepare for the cash is actually already deducted all the EPF amount that they're going to have in future. Yeah. So I actually build an investment calculator also. So investment calculator to let my investor clearly know how interest rate is compounded and how interest can help them in future. And also calculate the real return during like review my customer portfolio. I will let them know how much actually your investment is for the annualized return. And actually I using this template to calculate the real return for other investment to like saving plans also. Yeah. So lastly, proposal to, not lastly, sorry. Yeah, another one is proposal of my customer. So I will build a proposal for them to clearly know how long you need to save and how much you need to save for your future. So my customer can keep track on how much he saved and how much he can get in future. So this is what I do. And this one is in unit trust, but last one is in entrepreneur. So I actually helping my family member to build a template for them to calculate the cost and how much they should price for their product. Because many entrepreneurs actually don't know how to price their product until they see P&L, then only they realize, oh, it's undervalued, it's underpriced, so they need to increase the price. So I actually calculate the expenses ratio or all those things by keying the cost they bought for this product. They will know how much they should sell it or how much profit margin they can get from this product. So this is what I do for my family members also, which I help in my entrepreneurs surrounding me also. Yeah, so basically this is some template that I built for retirement calculator that I mentioned just now, for the investment calculator, and this is for the proposal that I built for my customer, but just this one is just part of it. I didn't show all because in my slide it's too small to show all. Yeah. So as a conclusion, what I want to say is actually what you have learned during your uni time or what, actually you can really link it to your real life. So by linking it, you actually can apply your knowledge and then help you to add value or to add value to other people and also yourself. So once you really apply your knowledge in your real life, you will find it learning is a fun process. It really helps you a lot. Yeah. So this is what I want to say for my presentation. So, anything you guys regarding actuarial or what, you guys can drop me a message, WhatsApp call or email. And this is my Facebook page, Adeline Thai, but it's in Mandarin version. So if any one of you know how to read Mandarin, then you guys can just go and like and follow. And next, I would like to invite our AJ Chin, aka Boss Mewa. So he is actually a contractor. He helps people to build houses for people to live in luxury. So he is very famous in social media. So let's welcome him to share about his career journey and also how he got to be where he is today.
Thank you, Adeline. Thank you, everyone, for coming today, spending your precious time, even though if it's forced. I'd like to tell you a story at a time when there's no handphones, there's no emails, there's no internet. So that time we usually post letters to one another. So when I was quite young, my dad took me to the post office. He dropped me off and he said, "Son, this is a letter, go and post it." But what he didn't tell me was he reached there around 4 something. So at that time, around 4 something is the closing time of the post office. So when I went to the gate, the main gate was open, but the building door was locked. So what happened later on? I actually went to the back of the building, spoke to the postman, and he brought me in by the back door and we posted the letter together. So why am I telling you this? Because what I want to say is, you all as students or even whatever you're learning now, you must have the can-do attitude. You will always feel, you always have an obstacle in your way. Something will always happen. Maybe you need to walk across the campus, but then it started raining very heavily. Oh, yo, I didn't bring an umbrella. How? Oh, yo, there's this problem. How? So with the can-do attitude, you'll always find a solution. So my name is AJ, and why do they call me Boss Mewa? Because I built for a lot of wealthy clients. So my story that I wanted to share today is this. So obviously need to promote a bit lah kan. So these are all the social media that you all can see me on. Boss Mewa, either you look for Chin AJ Chin or Boss Mewa. Okay, so when I started off my job, I was working for someone, a landscape designer. So at that time, the profit margin for landscape designers is very, very good. This was about 20 years ago. So just say my cost was 10,000 ringgit. All we need to do is add a zero behind, and that's our selling price to the client. Does that sound good or not? Good profit margin, right? Yeah, so at that time, what we do was we design gardens for people. So you look now on Instagram, you always see those influencers, they're always by the pool, you know, hanging out outdoors in a very expensive villa or mansion. We are the ones that make that environment. We are the ones that build the pools. We are the ones that build the cabanas or the gazebos that you hang out in, the chairs, or even the patios. So at that time, when I started off working for my boss, right after a couple of years, he got slip disc. So he couldn't run the business properly. So I started as a supervisor and I ended up as a project manager. I was handling everything from the clients, from the designing to the implementation of the homes and handover and collection of money. So my boss' health was so bad that he decided to say, "Hey, look, I think I need to retire. And I want you to be my subcontractor." So meaning to say he would get the jobs and he would say, just say he got it for 100,000. You say, "Okay, I give it to you for 80,000. So the rest is all your, the rest is mine, 20,000 is his." So that's how I started off. So after many years doing gardens for all these high wealthy people, so I managed to do gardens in the value of like 1.2 million, 500,000 just for the exterior of their homes. After some time, the client said, "Hey, you're already building my swimming pool. Why don't you do my extension of my house?" So I said, "Hey, I have never done something like that before. Are you sure?" So the client said, "Don't worry, I trust you. Let's do it." So I said, "All right, I'll try." A couple of years later, another client said, "Hey, I bought the land somewhere. I want to build a mansion. Can you help me do it?" I haven't done it before. Then the client said, "It's okay. I trust you. Let's do it." Couple of years later, another client said, hey, I bought a land, I want to build my corporate office. Can you build for me as well? I haven't done it before. Same answer, I trust you, let's do it. So the opportunity is always there if you all look out for it. If you see an obstacle, oh, I haven't done it before, I can't do it, you will never have tried. But I mean, you have to be honest with it. You have to be honest with people and tell them that you haven't done. So obviously, then at least if they accept it, you have not lied to them. So why the clients choose us? Simple. Because in my company, we are crazy. So we do crazy work. This is a shopping mall in Avenue K. They wanted to demolish a staircase the size of this auditorium. So the staircase is something like this, but it's made in concrete. And the best part was, it was in a shopping mall, so we cannot make noise. How do you demolish something without making noise? Crazy, right? So all the contractors didn't want to give a price. We said, never mind, let's do it, let's do it. If you trust us, we will do it for you. So you look at all our foreign workers, we bought machinery, we slowly cut it up. So this is us, we cut it into blocks like the pyramid, and we dispose of it by blocks as well. Quite manual labor. And you can see the staircase is reducing in numbers, and that's why we ended it. Okay, another problem in the same shopping mall, if you look at the balustrade of the handrail, there's a steel that mesh that is woven. Woven means it's like anyaman, it goes up and down. But at that time, it couldn't be found in Malaysia. The supplier that they said could have the stock didn't have the stock. So we had to check in China to find the stock. Initially, we wanted to change something that Malaysia had, but the architect said this: the whole reason I designed everything in this mall, I don't have the budget to fight KLCC, but I can make this more interesting by putting in elements or materials that other malls do not have. And this woven thing, you can't find in Malaysia, right? That's why I even want it. So we found it in China, and to ship it will take about 3 months. So that would delay the project. So the architect said, no, we cannot wait. This is a shopping mall, we don't want to open fast, right? So we decided to air freight the steel in. The cost of the air freight was equivalent to the cost of the steel. We lost money on that particular part, but it didn't matter because for us, we want to deliver this. So we solve problems. That's why clients trust us. And of course, we have letter of recommendations. This one is one of our past Permaisuri Agong, the one wearing pink color. And also because we are honest. Sometime last year, we were building a house, and the house had a lot of retaining walls. This retaining wall is about 4 meters high. So 4 meters would be somewhere about that height. So later on, we discovered we built it wrongly. Even contractors can make mistakes. But the crucial thing you need to know is, if I did not tell anyone, if we didn't tell anyone, would anyone know? The answer is no one would know if we didn't tell anyone. But because this was a safety thing, we could have easily keep quiet and hand it over. And after 10 years, only the problem came. But because we didn't want that to happen, we immediately informed the client, Mr. Dato' so-and-so, we made a mistake, really sorry. And within 1 week, we demolished the whole wall. So after that, the client cannot say anything. That he can say we are slow, he can say we are incompetent, but they cannot say we are dishonest. So what do we build? We build projects 50 million and below. We have done bungalows, factories, buildings, shopping malls, hotels, restaurants, and so that's all about me. And the next speaker that I would like to highlight is Cheryl. She's a practicing lawyer, and she does a vast types of cases. To know more, I'll pass the time back to her.
Thank you, AJ, and good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and all the students here. My name is Cheryl Wee, and I am a practicing lawyer and currently is still practicing, and I'm running my own firm known as Cheryl Wee & Co. So a little bit about me is that I completed my degree in Bachelor of Laws degree from MMU in 2016. And after completing 9 months of pupillage, in-depth training with law firms, and then I was called to the bar. We call it as admitted as a lawyer, advocate and solicitor, which I am officially a lawyer in 2017, right? And I've been practicing since 2017 up until today, and I founded Cheryl Wee & Co. in 2020. So our firms, we practice, principally we practice conveyancing and banking, which is property transactions, will and probate, will writing, family law, accident claim and personal injury claims, and also criminal litigations, right? So how do I build my business and combining laws and business expertise? How do I build my firm by combining both of these? Let me share with you about the progress towards my current stage, all right? Of course, the first stage will be starting from university. We learn every knowledge, every basic knowledge from university, all right? I learn all the basics laws, theories while I'm doing my law courses. All right, and we learn about the theory, we do case study, we do assignment. This is how we get to know about law, all right? And before we're able to graduate, we'll surely be assigned to go for internship. It could be a 3 months, it could be a 9 months, 6 months. I went for internship for 3 months, right? During these 3 months, the basics exposure that I get is how I make appointment with client, how do I communicate with client, and basics exposure, including typing letter, official letter in relating to my career. That's how I start to learn about the actual experience about my career. And this is the golden opportunity for all of us. We're able to make mistakes and we correct from there then, because we can't afford to make any mistakes when we are out in working stage, right? And lastly, of course, will be working stage. But for me, before I actually work as a lawyer, as mentioned, I have to finish my 9 months pupillage. So this 9 months pupillage is equivalent to an in-depth internship in law firms, where I have to represent my client in court in front of judges. And then I have to write lawyer's letter, the so-called lawyer letter, the first letter where we send to our opponent, we send to opposition party, and we fight in court and all that. So that is where I gain the soft skills or polish up my other soft skills during my 9 months pupillage. So all of this I learned during university internship, during my pupillage. These are the basic knowledge, and they are the part and parcel to everything and to anything. They are meant to feature of something. Why do I say so? It's feature of something. So let me give you an example. For example, I am doing a divorce case with a prenuptial agreement. What is a prenuptial agreement? It is an agreement that two individuals enter before their marriage. They can do a lot of arrangement, terms and conditions in that agreement. And then only then they get married, register their marriage. And then right now they want to get a divorce. So you may think of, divorce sign one paper, can already, right? But right now it involves prenuptial agreement. So what are the things, what are the legal knowledge that I have to apply here? Of course, contract law, family law, property law, and banking law. Contract law, why? Because there's a contract. Family law, why? Because it is a divorce between two of them. Property law, there could be a joint name property, and also banking law for joint name accounting and all that. These are the legal knowledge that I obtained from university during my degree, all right? And not to forget, I'm actually running my own firm. So I have to handle my own client. I'm running my own firm, which is equivalent to I'm an entrepreneur, I'm a business owner. I have to equip some business skills in order to serve my client better And what are those skills? Networking, communications and negotiation, planning and organization, finance and accounting, and so on. And I have to control my emotion as well, not to get affected easily by my client. Or the wife could be crying so desperately, saying that the husband is treating her very badly, right? I cannot be so biased. I have to understand, I have to analyze the situations and all that and apply into my, how do I settle this case? So this, all of this I equipped, I learned it during my uni and also my internship and my pupillage. So then only I can serve my client better. And that's how we run our business and how we apply in everyday cases, not just divorce case, yeah, contract case or accident cases, criminal cases, all of this applies, all right? So I would like to emphasize everything that we learn in uni, in internship, all right? It is part and parcel to anything. It is important for you in your future. You combine it, we apply what we have learned previously and apply it into our current job, daily life. That's how it works. It may not be very useful for certain period, for certain cases, but it meant for something. It will be useful in one matter, right? And not to forget, I would like to emphasize as well, all of us, we learn until we're old. So it is a lifelong learning journey for all of us, all right? And that's all from me. I hope my sharing could shine a little light on your doubts on about going from graduating to working life. Yeah, anything regarding to legal matters, feel free to drop in any questions or give me a call. And without further delay, I would like to introduce Ruth, our next speakers. Because everyone's successful stories, every success person, there's a coach behind them to help them achieve success and to keep them successfully. And without further delay, let us welcome Ruth and her experience sharing.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. We hope that you are capturing the insight, right? So as much as possible, we want to be practical and to really share how our journey from the university and how the working has right now, where we are, has changed and impacted. So for me, a little background, I studied computer engineering. Do I go this? Okay, I studied computer engineering. Then, of course, after I graduated, I did not do anything related to engineering. I went to international school to teach computer class. And guess what? That wasn't really a good experience. So I left. The interview itself was scary for me, and I left the engineering related for a year. I went into the social related work. Then eventually, of course, I went back to business development engineering. And for now, of course, I'm a business coach. I coach business owners, CEOs, just like what Mr. Ken, Dr. Ken mentioned, that our goal is also to bridge that those young adults, those who graduate, go into the world. How can we best prepare you so that also business owners and just bridge the gap, right? So, yep, a bit of fun facts. Even though I study engineering and numbers, accounting is another kind of numbers. Can I go back to the next? I ran from the accounting classes. I don't know about you. So I really want to applaud and salute every one of you who are in ADP. Give yourself a round of applause. All right, cool. So as I was saying, I am a strategy coach from 10X CEO. So what is strategy? What is strategy? A strategy. Okay, so in order to make it easier and for you to remember the rest of your life, every one of you use Waze, right? Waze, right? So Waze, what do? You key in the desired destination, and the Waze will bring you through the shortest and fastest route to reach your journey. So the same goes to as 10X strategy coach. A 10X strategy coach bring business and life from A to B effectively. right? So what is it like? Okay, I will continue to explain further. Now, 10X, what is 10X? It's a global coaching platform, entrepreneurs transforming entrepreneurs. A quick question. How many of you, your family or your relatives are running own business? Can you give me a show of hand? All right. All right. Good. All right. So we are coaching, as I mentioned, business owners and CEOs to transform their business and life so that when the leader gets better, everybody better as well, organization. So currently we have 90 coaches. We are all entrepreneurs, coaching other entrepreneurs in business, branding, and leadership. Today, I want to talk a little bit about leadership because all of us are leaders one way or another. Now, question to all of you, since you are in business and economy and whatnot, Malaysia's economy is driven by how many businesses? Malaysia economy is driven by how many businesses? Do you want to give a guess? Sorry? A lot, yeah. A lot is how many? Give me a number. Any numbers? No right and wrong. 10,000 more? There are 1.35 million. 1.35 million, that's right. Malaysia economy is driven by about 1.35 million businesses, and 95% of them are SMEs. So if you could imagine through coaching, business and life, if we can enrich these entrepreneurs, we can enrich the nation. A chairman of Global Entrepreneur Exchange, Mr. Karthik Siva, says, and I quote, "A majority of the world's economy is driven by entrepreneurs. If we can change the entrepreneurs, we can change the world." As I coach business owners and CEOs, I always emphasize on leadership and strategy. The fundamentals start from a clear understanding of where the company is today and where it desires to be. Clarity is power. So right now, the question to you is that, why are you in this ADP? Do you know what or who you want to become? As I end my session today, I'd like to encourage us as we are all leaders, one way or another, whether you really realize it or not, whether you are leading 1 or 2, 100 or 1,000. So what kind of leader you want to be? Start leading yourself. And you never know, you will become a great leader for your generation. Now I'd like to pass the time to next speaker and introduce Mr. N. Teck Yong. Mr. Teck Yong is a property negotiator who helps homeowners sell their home and home buyers and find homes. Mr. Teck Yong will share how economic forces affect the real estate circle, the buyer's market and seller's market. Without further ado, please welcome Mr. N. Teck Yong.
Thank you, Ruth. And yep, good afternoon, everyone. Before we begin, and I want to hear from you, the one from the left-hand side at the end, if you have any question for me. No, right? Yeah, it's boring. I know. Yeah, let me introduce myself. I'm N. Teck Yong. I'm a property negotiator or property agent. So I'm actually cover residential and commercial properties. So I'm graduated from University of Sussex. And yeah, I don't know why I'm here. I get to here also because I do for my academic background, I think I do it quite well. But why am I today is for you to find out. You can post your question in the right hand side if you have any question for me. So I specialize in residential property for more than 13 years already. So today I want to share with you. So this is all the time when the people embark to the market and they don't know what the condition of the market now. So let me explain to you what is buyer's market and what is seller market before we get into the diagram. So definition for the buyer's market. So it's actually describe the market condition where supply exceeds demand. So giving buyer an advantage over seller in price negotiation. This is when, later I will explain it in the diagram anyway. So we go to the next slide, please. Yep, next slide is actually explaining about the seller market. Seller is actually opposite definition to buyer's market, in which assets inventory versus interest potential buyer means the buyer have the power in terms of the setting term and prices. So this is the diagram that we're showing you how the interaction in the market. So the left hand of your the diagram on the left hand is actually representing the demand curve, and the diagram on the right hand side is actually representing the supply curve. So demand is actually telling when the price is high, the people tend to buy less. When the price is low, people tend to buy more. This is actually representing in the diagram. And the supply side is actually saying if when the price high, the manufacturer or the supplier tend to produce more. And when the price low, they tend to produce less. So the middle one will be representing the intersection between them, the supply and the demand, where the deal is done. When the buyer willing to pay, the supplier willing to offer. This is where they get the deal done. So yeah, we go to the next slide, please. Yep. So this is the empirical example that I want to show you. During year 2010, the real estate market was considered to be seller's market, where the price starting to rise up drastically in property market, where the high demand and likely to sell. So even if overpriced or in poor condition, still got a lot of people willing to buy it. In many cases, a home will receive multiple offers, and the price will be buy out above the seller initial asking price. As you can compare the price in year 2010 and compares to a property price now, it's actually threefold. It has been increased 3 times. And then the subsequent house market crash, like just recently after MCO, because the demand is growing less. So created buyer's market in which a seller had to work much harder to generate interest in their property. A buyer expected a home to be in excellent condition and priced at discount. So this is what we can tell now. So we go back to the diagram again. How is it representing? Yes. So when the demand and supply, yeah, this is the initial market where the demand and supply meet. And when the demand is increased, then you can see the slope going downward is actually shifting from one shifting outward actually. Yeah, then you can see, in fact, the demand curve is stiffer. So if you want to see clearer picture of how the diagram works, because it involves the characteristic of the buyer and seller also. So you have to feedback your text word anyway. So in actual condition like now, the property is an asset. So you can see the supply curve is actually stiffer. And then when the price, any price increase, it will cause a lot of increase in price. And also when there's a buyer market, when the demand is going down, the price for the property will going down as well. So if you want to listen to example, it will be like the property market now, buyer's market, when the demand is going down, the price will going down 30% to 40%. So that's all my presentation. Well, do you know why do we want to present all this to you? It's just because I'm 40 years old now, and we present this to you, even the material that we studied like 20 years ago, is still relating to me when I want to make decision in investment, when I want to make decision in any of decision-making matter. So if you have more information, actually you can get more accuracy to your target. So this is all my presentation, and thank you very much. I'll pass the mic back to Ken. Thank you.
Unfortunately, I'm back. Can I invite the 5 speakers to please stand, and can we give them a big round of applause and thank them for being here? I wish I could say that I paid them a lot of money to be here, but I cannot afford them. Okay, and the least that we can do is to really, I definitely appreciate them to be here. Instead of earning millions of dollars out there, they are here today, right? And so I think we have some questions in. Some of you have actually sent some of these questions. If you do have any questions or whatever that you want to say, all right? I know, Edric, you want to say something. I'm pointing now. So I think we've got some of these questions. Can we get the slides? Yes, I don't know who was asking that, but these slides will be shared. In fact, this recording will be shared as well with Miss Lim, the economics lecturer, and also myself for the accounting classes. Yeah, and I believe this is a question for Adeline, I believe. Yeah, with this formula that we're talking about. So why don't we invite Adeline to answer this question? Yeah.
Yeah, can your formula you be used or applicable to law firm or any industry? Actually, yes. But I could say not exactly, because for a law firm or accounting, they are actually providing their service, where service is actually priceless. So what I can do for them is actually letting them know how much expenses you will have in order to settle one case or what. So let them clearly know how much expenses for the case, so that they can price on top of that, add on the service, which actually for accounting and also law, I believe there's market price over there also. So I will let them clearly know how much expenses you have and how you can earn the money or profit margin you need to have in order to expand your business. Yeah, so this is what I will do for them, for the template. Yeah. So any other questions regarding actuarials or unit trust or any investment or any projection? No? So I pass back to Uncle Kim.
All right, so now the floor is yours. All right, and so ask us anything. Don't ask us whether you can go home now. Yes, I'm looking at you. Just kidding. I know. So ask us anything. And what if you want to say it out here, it's fine. If you want to put it out there, it's fine too, whichever way. Going once? Going twice? I guess every yes.
Okay. In Malaysia, all the firms, they can be a sole proprietor. They can be like a one-man show, or they can be in partnership. So right now, I am a one-man show law firm. Okay. As regarding to you mentioned that in Korea, the firms they do is that they major in one family law only and family law only. And if it's about other sections, right? In Malaysia, yes, we do. There are firms they focus in corporate. There are firms that focus in divorce matter. But at the end of the day, like divorce matter, they actually involve with all others respective areas. So we actually have to get that knowledge, we apply into that cases. As for my firm, we covers this much of areas is because these are my expertise. These are what I can provide. These are services that I can provide to my client. So if let's say we can choose to be major in one section, but we can also choose to cover certain expertise that we know we expert in to solve that matter. Yeah. Do I answer all your questions? Yeah. All right. Thank you.
Anything else? Oh, this one sounds better. You're not going to ask questions. I'm going to start singing. No, thank you. So, all right. So I guess we have actually come to a conclusion of this. You know what? When we initially planned this event, we put it at 2 hours. But then we always like to give presents to students. You know how we give presents to students? We tell them something is 2 hours, but we end early. Is that a good present that you like to have this week? So, all right, and there's something. What are the biggest fears in starting a business? Everything. Can I invite some of the speakers to answer that? My answer is everything. Boss Mewa.
Okay, so I didn't tell you the full story of how I started. I actually did the accounts for my boss because he's a gangster. He doesn't know accounts. For him, it's 10,000 here, 5,000 there means profit lah. So I actually did the accounts for the company. I showed to him, boss, we're losing money every month. So he said like this, let's start you being the subcon. So I asked him, when do you want to start this arrangement, boss? Tomorrow. So when you're talking about fear from an employee and tomorrow become boss, there's no way to actually say that you won't be scared. Everybody will be scared to start a business. But the thing is, you have to learn to embrace opportunities of the unknown. We always think, ayo, if I start now, what if I lose this money? What if I cannot get back? What if I lose face to my friends? What if I start this business and all my friends don't want to spend time with me anymore? Or I don't have the resources, I don't have the contacts, I don't have the connections. But you have to flip it the other way around, flip the script. What if I do this and I achieve it? What if I do this and I get to know the people, people that help me along the way? Does that answer what are the biggest fears? So the fear is all in your own mind. How large the fear is you yourself. If you can resolve that fear, you face it on, you'll be okay.
Just to echo on what AJ said is that those of you who really want to start a new business, I think that it's go back to the why, the purpose of why you want to start this business, the why, right? Of course, you have to do research, right? You want to play the game to win, right? So you must have a proper, like AJ said, the information, facts, what's the business that you want to go in, and are you well equipped? You don't want to go in blindly, right? That is unwise, right? So I think just to add on is that you want to start a business, great. Why you want to start a business? Does it matter, right? So that's to add. Thank you.
Thank you for validating my fears. All right. Do you have anything else? For calling once. Calling twice. Is there anything that you would like to say? Edric, I'm looking at you. I don't know why I just like to pick on Edric. He's asking me to pick on him. That doesn't give you extra marks in your next assignment. So, right, and yeah, so with that, again, I'd like to spend take this time to really thank our speakers here today. All right, I hope this session, right, if there is something, I always say in class, if you don't remember anything at all in class, you know, you've got to remember something. There's always some little nuggets that you're able to remember. And those are things that I remember in some of those classes on a day-to-day basis, right? I remember in my, when I took world religions, I took it here in Taylor's ADP, right? It was actually like an old lecturer called Mr. Vijaya. And Mr. Vijaya shared with me, this is a lesson that I continue to remember 23 years later. Right? It was at a point where he, as old as he is still a lecturer. He is basically, people will say he's nowhere significant, right? He's just a lecturer. And he's not a boss. There were opportunities that that he was able to get promoted, and he said no, he wanted to remain in the class to be a lecturer. And this is one lesson I will still remember from him. He shared this story about the Emperor of China. See, in the Forbidden Palace, all right, that's where the Emperor of China lives. In the Forbidden Palace, there is a big pond, right, where the Emperor of China lives, a big pond, and then there is a big turtle. Imagine a big turtle. No, I'm not pointing at you, Henry. There's a big turtle living in a golden pond, right? And this turtle in a golden pond is like the luxury of turtles. It gets fed before it is even hungry, right? It gets taken care of by professional vets. Whatever it does, all right, it just lives in luxury for the entire life of the turtle, no matter how long. But you think about this. If you were the turtle, would you want to live your life in luxury, in the golden bowl, in the Forbidden City? Or would you rather wag your tail in the mud? That's what I believe, right? I would rather wag my tail in the mud. So thank you very much. I hope you all have a very wonderful afternoon and the rest of the week. And also a very good professional development week next week. All right. Thank you all.